Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, June 21st. Skipped yesterday. Played D&D with my buddies after work. That's fun. Today, we're just gonna go right into movie day. And I'm super excited. Yeah, it's not working on this shelf. I need to work on the shelf. I'll get back to the shelf. There's a few movies on the shelf I'm looking forward to. There's quite a few movies on that shelf that are left that I'm not, because I've never seen them or whatever. So there's several movies I'm like, I don't know, whatever, but I'll get to them. But we have been working our way through Harry Potter. And we worked our way through a couple of movies that, you know, were not as pretty. And then we got a beautiful movie, and we've had some good ones after that, looking great. And as we've gone through, you know, we've gone through all these childish times at school. And last week we got to Half-Blood Prince, and things were starting to be a little less childish. They're still at school, but it's starting to be less evident. Well, this time around, they're not at school. They're not. They didn't go back. They dropped out. Because they have more important things to do, like saving the world. We are moving on to Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. The first part of Year 7. This is good. This is the point where they're finally like, okay, fine, we'll split them into two so we can do a little better job at telling the story. And everyone is like, finally? Should have done that ages ago. But you know what? Better late than never. I recall liking these. And so yeah, movie day should be fun today. I get to jump into Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 1. And I would give Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 an 8.7 out of 10. They are doing very good with this. DVD menu changed and now it shows clips instead of a still. Still, it's the one from the same set, the Ultimate Editions that include whatever the little booklets and the documentary series. But they were, they started coming out with them before the last few movies came out. So things changed by the time it got to the end of it. Oh well. But that's all, you know, bonus feature stuff on the back of movies, which is what the back of the boxes love to talk about for a Harry Potter series. We'll go online to get a synopsis. After unexpected events at the end of the previous year, Harry, Ron, and Hermione are entrusted with a quest to find and destroy Lord Voldemort's secret to immortality. Good, no snatchers. The Horcruxes. It is supposed to be their final year at Hogwarts, but the collapse of the Ministry of Magic and Voldemort's rise to power prevents them from attending. The trio undergo an arduous journey with many obstacles in their path, including Death Eaters, Snatchers, the mysterious Deathly Hallows, and Harry's connection with the Dark Lord's mind becoming even stronger. This is a road movie. We've spent so much time sitting around in school, and we're out traveling. We're on the road. We're running from stuff. We're camping. It's a road movie. It's exciting. It is throwing characters that we know into totally different situations. And that alone makes me really love the movie. It's a bit of a mystery. It's frustration. So much of this plot is frustration, which the fact that they turn it into a movie and it's good is impressive. There's obviously stuff missing, whatever. I hate being that guy. I'm not the guy that says the book's better, but the movie does make me think of things I like in the book. I like the movie too. Like I said, 8.7 out of 10. That's a good rating. It's a good movie. I like the movie as well. There's always little things. Little details. Not bringing up that Voldemort's name is... it's the term they use. Tabooed, I think. And that's how they track them. So you never understand why they were being tracked. How protective enchantments were broken, etc. So the movie sets us out, getting Harry, Ron, and Hermione out on the road, getting a bit of foundation with some other characters we know. We get them to Grimmauld Place, and pulling in Mundungus Fletcher to learn where the locket is. And then they set out to the Ministry of Magic, foregoing all of the ages of preparation that were in the book. We jump right to going there. And there's only some of the chaos there. He doesn't take the eye. I mean, I get it. Taking Mad-Eye Moody's eye off of Umbridge's door just to then bury it and not use it is an easy-to-cut plot point. But... man, Umbridge really grinds my gears. I hate her so much. She just appears for this little bit. You must not tell lies, Umbridge. They get the locket, and then the frustration of trying to figure out how can we destroy this locket. And the movie uses wonderful sound design as it incorporates this kind of sound, real low, real high-pitched in the background. And like the locket comes off, and it goes away. Enough that it just kind of subtly messes with your brain with the soundtrack that something is off to help you get into the mind of the character. He's good. And then there's the whole mess, whereas that's, you know, they're wandering around, they have no idea what they're doing because they have no idea what they're doing. They're frustrated. And they don't know what to do. Ron flips out and leaves. And then we get this scene that is Harry and Hermione dancing to some song. Probably some popular song, but I've never heard of it. And I love that scene. That's a scene that is new for the movie that I'm like, that condenses an emotional feel that sure took an arc in the book to a scene of this reliance and connection of their friendship as a couple of people who are friends, and they're both in love with people that they cannot be with at this moment. And it's frustrating, and they can have joy together, but they're still upset. And it's just this moment, and it's done without words. It's really good. I appreciated that scene. Getting to Godric's Hollow. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. Things are glossed over there. No statue. Not reading that line. They don't... not using Polyjuice Potion, not using the invisibility cloak. Harry does at one point pull out the Marauders map and look at Snape pacing in Dumbledore's office. The headmaster's office, I suppose. Which is to say, they pulled out the Marauders map. They pulled out one of his things that he has. One of the tools in his toolbox. The movie likes to forget that. They don't like that he has that. They don't like that he has an invisibility cloak. I mean, the invisibility cloak is like a crucial part. It's one of the Hallows. But they keep ignoring it because I guess then you don't see the actors that they're paying so much for. I guess. They don't use Polyjuice Potion. They used it for the Ministry. And that was great. But they don't use it like going into Godric's Hollow. I guess because then you wouldn't see the actors that they paid so much for. It's just Oh well. Yeah, they definitely use the tools in their toolbox more in the books, and they just kind of, we don't need to do whatever, it'll be good enough, and take risks in the movie. Anyways, we get Bathilda bag shots, but we don't get the scene of Voldemort's realization through the picture that was dropped at that moment of, that's who I'm looking for. That's separated from that moment. So it's not such a close call of Voldemort being right on his tail as he leaves. But we still get the pain as getting back from that location. The wand is broken. Harry's wand broke. And now we get to start counting where wands go. Who has what wand? Who owns? Who is what wand granting allegiance to? Who has won what wand? They don't go into nearly the finer details of it here, but they do the wand trading a fair bit. Ron finds his way back, thanks to the Deluminator. And they follow a doe to get the sword. Godric Gryffindor. Destroy the Horcrux. Third Horcrux down. Wonderful. They go visit Xenophilius. The thing I miss most is that they don't look up in her room. Her room's on the top floor. And she has a mural that she has painted on her ceiling of Harry and Ron and Hermione and Ginny and Neville. And just this ribbon that she's painted all around it. And it just says, friends, 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 friends. And that's a moment in the book that I fall in love with that character. And it's missing here. But it definitely makes me love Luna. Particularly in middle school, elementary school, I had struggles keeping many friends. I was the weird guy. I know. Me? Weird? I was a guy in, second grade. That someone that decided they no longer wanted to be my friend invited the rest of the elementary school class to an I Hate Adam party to try and turn the rest of the class against me. That was me. So, seeing a character who has not had friends, and despite that, like me, is true to themselves regardless of what others think. Because she's going to be true to herself whether she has friends or not. She's not willing to compromise who she is to have friends. But the value she places on the friends when she finally gets them, I love her. Also, we get the story of the Deathly Hallows. And of course we see Xenophilius' necklace, as I have here. Which ties into what the side plot is, you know. Hallows or Horcruxes, eh? Which one is it? Fleeing from there, they run into some Snatchers. Not because they said Voldemort's name, but just because bad luck, I suppose. And they're taken to Malfoy Manor. We get a very brief bit of very wonderful acting from Emma Watson as she's being carved into by Bellatrix. And Dobby saves the day. He gives his life to save Harry Potter and his friends. And to stand up against his old masters. Because Dobby is a free elf. Another thing we miss from the books. We don't get the whole society of elves and how it's strange that Dobby wants to be a free elf. Just like, you know, at the point when Ron splinched himself. It was strange because what's splinching? We didn't spend a huge amount of the last movie talking about how apparition works and the dangers of splinching, so all of a sudden Ron's just injured from apparition. So the setups are missing, but the details are still there. If you know the book, it shows you parts of it at least. And we say goodbye to Dobby. And we glance across the sea. And Voldemort breaks into Dumbledore's tomb and takes the Elder Wand. But does he have its allegiance? I wonder. It's a good movie. It's completely different than what we've seen so far. But it builds on the characters and relationships that I greatly love. So, I enjoy it. Look at that guy in the background, casting his spells. And there's only one more. But they've been good. Just keep getting better. So, I'm looking forward to getting through this series, to completing it, but I'll miss it when I'm done with it. It's been good to get back into. Again, it's been years since I watched these. But they definitely formed a part of who I am as a person. Anyways, we'll call it a night. Thank you for joining me, and joining me as my journey continues.